It's a good story. Like, we hear so much about entitlement these days and not earning your spot. And this is a kid who's the exact opposite. He earns his opportunity to start in the NHL. His first game, he's playing at MetLife Stadium outdoors. He gets his lap on his own, and then the fight, and we know his story a little bit, but like the conversations here with respected heavyweights in the NHL, and Delorier, Olivier, and then showing up. And he's also contributed, though. That's the thing. Like, the fighting has taken center stage, that conversation. He's hung in there. Yeah, he took a couple punches here, didn't complain, but he's contributing. He's going out. The New Jersey game, he gets kicked out in the first shift, but he throws a big hit, which I actually thought was legal. Here, this is like another opportunity. Quietly does his job as a fourth-line guy. Olivier gives a cross-check to Trocheck. He kind of goes over there and makes sure that nothing else happens. It's a quiet job, but it's a good job. And the whole time, this kid has done it with a ton of energy, a ton of passion, humility, respect. I think his interview with Emily Kaplan has been amazing, Ron. But the way he's conducting himself, he's turning heads, and he's got the respect of the NHL right now.
But just looking at him, looking over at the Leafs right now, first of all, he comes from a winning culture in Seattle. He got all the way to the WHL final, lost in Game 6 to Edmonton, great. Played for Chris Knobloch in Hartford, Steve Smith, great. But he's got to know, you know, it's New York, big stage. Everybody wants him to fight Ryan Reeves tonight. What's he thinking, and what's
I don't think he's obligated to fight, or neither is Reeves. Fought last game. He's already got 3 fights in his short career. I don't think there's an obligation there. I think it's one of those things where they'll kind of see where it goes. But I wouldn't be surprised if they get in a little conversation at center ice and kind of feel each other out. But like going back, like every kid says, I would do whatever it takes to get into the NHL and stay. Not everybody actually does that, though. This kid is doing it. He's doing everything it takes. Whatever is asked from him, he provides.
And you're kind of legend for the Superman punch. Were you good as a fighter early? Like, that's the one thing. John Scott said, I'm a little concerned.
Street fights.
Well, good. But and you know, he did fight in the American Hockey League, so it's not like he's never done it. But when you watch him fight, are you kind of like John Scott, maybe concerned, or do you say, well, that comes with, you know,
stylistically, he has the will right now. The technique will develop. Technically, no, he's not a great fighter. He's got the will. But you got to stay in the league long enough to be able to develop those skills. He will develop them. Certainly not the point where he's going to be saying no, but somebody at some point will teach him the proper way to grab a guy and maybe a little bit more defense, how to protect himself if he wants longevity.
That's great.